Welcome back. I'm Dr. Dustin Portela, board certified dermatologist, and today we're doing our first review, just a one product review on the Megashade. This is a sunscreen from ZitSticka. Let's check it out. The whole mission of ZitSticka is to help you clear and prevent acne. They have some great pimple patches, which I've talked about on TikTok and other platforms. And when they sent me the sunscreen, I was very excited because this is supposed to be the breakout-proof sunscreen. So what is in it and does it actually work? ZitSticka advertises this as fragrance-free, breakout-proof, non-comedogenic, kind of the same thing as breakout-proof, and dermatologically tested. I think that's an important fact. So the Megashade is a sunscreen serum. So this is different than a cream or a lotion or a gel. And I'm a big fan of like any sunscreen that you want to use if it's SPF 30 or higher, and you remember to reapply frequently. That's the best way to protect yourself against the signs of aging from ultraviolet light exposure and from the ultraviolet light that contributes to free radicals that end up leading to skin cancer. This promises to provide UVA and UVB broad spectrum protection at an SPF of 50, and that's when you're applying it thick enough like we do in clinical trials. Under real world application at an SPF 50, you're probably still going to get really good protection. Let's take a look at the product. The box is kind of nice, kind of fun there. We're going to pull the serum out, and I'm excited to test this one out. So this is a hybrid sunscreen. That means it has both chemical and physical filters. As far as the chemical filters go, we have homosalate, octinoxalate, and octisalate. So those are the chemical filters. They're going to help to absorb ultraviolet light and keep that protecting your cells by converting it into heat energy. And then you have a 3% zinc oxide. So this relies most heavily upon the chemical filters. I'm not worried about chemical filters. I'm not worried about the studies that have shown small amounts in the bloodstream. I don't think you need to be worried about it either because there's not been anything to show that that's harmful at the doses that we're exposed to as humans. The studies that even hinted at that were like mega doses given orally or even topically to animals, but it's not anywhere near like what we experience in humans. So I'm a big fan of both types of sunscreen, and I think it's cool that they've created a hybrid because you get really good broad spectrum protection that way. Let's talk a little bit about the ingredients, and then we'll dive into how this product actually looks and feels when you put it on the skin. The first main advertised ingredient is, of course, the non-irritating zinc oxide. This at 3% is going to provide good protection, but it's not enough to fully protect you from both UVA and UVB, especially at that 3%, and that's why we have the chemical filters in there as well. But zinc oxide is generally really well tolerated. It can help to promote barrier repair in and of itself. I mean, zinc paste is what we put all over babies when they have diaper rash and things like that. And so I think that this is a really good ingredient. Next up is hyaluronic acid. That's part of the reason this feels good as a serum is the hyaluronic acid really helps to attract water and make your skin feel moist, hydrated, kind of give you a little bit of a dewy appearance. And so I like the way that this feels. The hyaluronic acid is great. And I think that that's a good ingredient to add to lots of different skincare products. Now, some people have worried about hyaluronic acid actually causing too much dryness on your skin. You can put a moisturizer on before you add a sunscreen serum. I haven't experienced any dryness from this, and I've used it quite a bit. Plus, I have dry and sensitive skin, so I've had no trouble with this. Next up are the chemical filters. We talked about this, that homosalate, octinoxalate, and octisalate. These are generally well tolerated by most everybody. It's not very common to have an allergy to these ingredients, but some people do in really rare exceptions. If that's you, then this probably wouldn't be the sunscreen for you. This also does contain ceramide NG. So ceramides are one of the important lipids. There's a lot of different ceramides, but as a lipid, they help to promote a healthy skin barrier. So those lipids are important. If you look at your skin as a bricks and mortar type of situation, your skin cells being the bricks, ceramides are a healthy part of helping to make sure that those skin cells are kind of stuck together, that water's not escaping through your skin, that bacteria and dirt or other things aren't getting into your body. So ceramides are a really important part to help build and maintain a healthy skin barrier, and I'm glad to see that included in here. Another ingredient is Kakadu plum in here. Now this is just a form of vitamin C. This is a lot of vitamin C that helps overall to prevent hyperpigmentation, can help to promote a brightening effect on the skin, and generally vitamin C is not irritating for most people at moderate or low concentrations. This isn't a super high concentration, so I don't think that there's a lot of risk for irritation from that. And because this is advertised mainly as a way to help individuals with acne-prone skin to protect themselves. I think it's important to be fighting that pigmentation because a lot of people do get hyperpigmentation after having acne spots. We're getting close to the end of the active ingredient list. We also have niacinamide in here. Niacinamide can help to calm down breakouts. It can also help to reduce redness in the skin. It can help to control oil production. All of those are really good for acne-prone skin, for oily skin, but it's also at a low enough concentration. They don't disclose it, but I know it's not too high. This isn't going to cause a lot of irritation from the niacinamide. It's not like we're dealing with a 10% niacinamide here. So again, very thoughtful addition there for a sunscreen that's supposed to help individuals with oily and acne-prone skin. We also have ferulic acid in here. Ferulic acid can be an important ingredient in and of itself as an antioxidant to help fight free radicals that would lead to skin aging and potentially to skin cancer. Ferulic acid can also be an important molecule to help stabilize vitamin C, which this does have, to help make sure that it stays potent longer. So ferulic acid works really well with any form of vitamin C. This does have a small amount of tea tree oil in it, which I think is generally okay. Most people are going to tolerate that fine, but some people will have an allergy to tea tree oil. I haven't had any irritation from it as I have used it, but if you know that you're sensitive to tea tree oil, again, you should probably avoid this particular sunscreen. Tea tree oil can help because it is a slight antibiotic from nature. So I think that that's a pretty reasonable ingredient as long as we're not dealing with a really high percentage, because that would increase your risk of irritation. And lastly, the Megashade Sunscreen Serum does contain some colloidal oatmeal, which is a really good hydrating ingredient. I love that for eczema, for allergic prone skin. It's a really good moisture building ingredient that helps to bind water and really help to hydrate the top layer of skin. So overall, I love the ingredients that are in this. The tea tree oil isn't necessarily my favorite, but it's not really a super high percentage here that I think will cause problems for most people. Now let's talk about the texture and the feel of this particular sunscreen. So again, this comes as a serum, which is a little bit different application than some of the other sunscreens that I've used, but it's not bad at all. So when we take it out, just a white, really kind of a fluidy sunscreen. I'm going to drop a little on the back of my hand here. And it goes on pretty smooth. Not a lot of strong fragrance to it, which is good. And then it rubs in pretty well. For having zinc, it's not going to leave a white cast. I've actually got it on my face right now as well. And you can see that there's essentially no white cast on there. I think this would be good for nearly all skin types. You wouldn't really expect a white cast because this is only a 3% zinc. And then you've got all those other ingredients. So it should go on and blend pretty smooth. What about the price point? This is advertised at $40. So it is definitely not the least expensive sunscreen that you can buy, but I've certainly seen some that are more expensive. You're getting 50 milliliters for that. So 1.69 ounces, a little over an ounce and a half. The reasons that you would buy this particular sunscreen is if you are really an oily or acne prone skin type and you were looking for a sunscreen that would complement your skincare routine when you're fighting acne. I think that this would be a great pick for that. If you're not really fighting acne, you still could use it. It's not going to leave a white cast regardless of your skin type, but you might find something that's a little less expensive that would work really well for you as well. Overall, I think ZitSticka has done a good job with this particular Megashade Sunscreen Serum. I've enjoyed using it. I would definitely repurchase it again. And if I was going to give it a score, I would give it an 8 out of 10. Thank you for following along with this one product bite-sized skincare review. I hope that you found it enjoyable and helpful if you're considering a sunscreen purchase. Let me know what other products you'd like me to review in these shorter videos, and I'll be happy to include them in the rotation and answer your questions. Also, let me know if you want to know anything else in particular about skincare routines, about specific skin conditions. I'd be happy to create content for you to answer your questions. Thank you for following along, and please remember to hit that subscribe button and hit the alert button so you know when new videos are out. I put out videos 1 to 2 times a week, usually on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I hope to see you back here next time.